Alright, in this fourth video of the gnome carving, we are going to smooth out and detail the rest of the body and the beard. We won't do the beard texture in this video, but we'll get the body and the beard shaped, everything up to the texturing. So in the last video we kind of roughed out where the arms are. You can see we've got some rough edges and some shaping that still needs to happen. That's what we're going to finish in this video. So grab my glove and we'll do that. Alright, so let's start with the beard. I want to make sure that I've cut up underneath this pretty good. And we've got a pretty good start to the shape and where I want my beard, but I want my beard to kind of round. I don't want this sharp edge here, I want it to be rounded. So I'm going to start all the way up here. And again, the grain's going straight up like this, so I'm going to need to cut this way, uphill. And I'm just going to take that hard corner off the edge of my beard. If I do that once, then I'll usually come and do the next one here too that I just created by doing that. Okay, I'll do the same thing over here. Gotta be a little careful on the arm, it's not as deep, but down here we've got a nice deep cut above the arm. I can bring the beard in there. Okay, and then on the bottom here, I can kind of bring that in and round it off. Okay, so it's starting to make the bottom of my beard look nice and round, right? And that's essentially what this video is going to be. Finish this little gap between the beard and the hair, make that round. Same thing up here. Okay, since we're working the hair, let's do that. Same thing around here. I'm going to take the corner here where I cut up to, and I'm just going to cut off the edge to make that a little more round. Same thing here. Alright, so now I've just got, a round edge to my hair. And I might come in and just kind of smooth that out a little bit. Get rid of that hard edge that I created. Got some little chips here, so I'm just going to slice those out by coming in and up. Clean that up. Alright, so my beard and my hair are nice and shaped. Next come my arms. So one of the things that I do to try to make my arms stick out a little bit more now is I'm going to carve them in like this. So probably put a little bit of a stop cut here coming straight down the top of the arm to where the elbow is. Coming straight in there, but then this part of the arm I'm going to bring up and I'm kind of just flatten it out like that and angling it in, and that's going to make it look like my arm is sticking even further out because I'm getting that flat surface there that you can really see. Okay, and do the same thing on this side. I'll put a little stop in there and then start flattening that part of the arm out, or like that. Sorry, it's a little bit hard for me to see holding it under the camera, but hopefully you can see it there. Okay, and so you realize that that's really making my arm look a little bit bigger. Now, Dwarf has got some he's got some muscles there, so I'm going to take this sharp corner, I'm going to shave that off, and I'm going to start to round the top part of his arm like that. Same thing over here. And take that off and round it. Okay. Now by doing that, I can see this area between his arm and the beard is sticking out just a little bit, and this is a little bit tricky. I can just work the top edge of my knife in there, either coming down towards the arm or up towards the beard to try to flatten that out a little bit. If you had a little detail blade, or even a small chisel or gouge, you could use that, but you don't have to. I do these all with just a knife. I just noticed some little chips under the beard there I was cleaning out. So I'm going to clean up the space between the arm and the beard here just a little bit. Flatten that out a little bit. That's pretty good. Okay. Alright. So next I'm going to put in stop cuts where I want the pockets to be. I kind of drew those in the last video so I could define where the end of the arm was going to be. I'll redraw those, kind of a curve like this with the arms going in. Okay. I'm going to do a stop cut along that, just straight in with my knife. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a little triangle on each corner. So I'm going to push my knife in for a stop cut right under the arm, under the wrist where it would go there. And I've got this is the other side of my triangle here. And now I can cut in up to that arm and pop that little chip right out, and it gives me a nice little corner where the wrist is going in. I'm going to do the same thing at the top of my arm or wrist area. Pop that triangle out. Okay, so you can see those little corners I've popped out for that. Then I'm going to come in here, pay attention where the tip of my knife is, and I'm just going to cut the wrist back down up to that stop cut for the pocket, so it's going in. And then what I like to do is take just a little corner off of that, so it's kind of coming in a little bit, like the arm is tapering a little bit there and there. And then the last step will be to do just a small cut with the tip to smooth the front of that pocket out, so it's just not a hard edge. And that's the arm going into the pocket. We'll do the same thing over here. Stop cut for the pocket. Take that triangle corner out under the arm. Same thing on top of the arm. Cut just the corner edge of the wrist off there so it looks like the arm's tapering a little bit. Alright, slice off the front of the wrist so it looks like it's going into the pocket. And then just smooth out the front of the pocket there. Okay. Now, I've still got rough edges on the bottom of my arm, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to kind of take that rough edge off the bottom of the arm there. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay. And now I've got, you know, flat edges on these arms, which isn't ideal. This is the toughest part of this, but I'm just going to kind of keep shaving up and down really slightly until I can kind of say that I've shaved all of the original wood or exterior part of the wood off of there. Okay. Same thing over here. I've got to kind of just keep working this here and here. And I can kind of just shave up the side like that. Alright, we're almost done with our arms. I just see a little chip there I want to get out. Okay. Sometimes I like to put in a little like indent there, like that little cut where the elbow is. You can do that. Just adds a little more interest to the corner of the coat there. And then I'll usually just take just the edge of that sharp elbow corner off. I like them to be kind of sharp. It makes it look like they're pointing out. I feel like these shoulders could be brought in a little bit, so I'm going to come in on the side and just kind of slope the arms in a little bit more like this, and then round those off. Okay. And I'm getting close here. All right. Now, the last thing you can do with the arms, kind of optional, but I'll usually cut out the back of the arms here too. You can see that defined here. You could leave it like this and nobody would really notice or probably care, but what I'll do for that really simply is just do a little straight cut down and then cut up to move that out. So just kind of a straight cut down to define the back of the arm, and then cutting up to pop that chip out, and then you're going to have to round things a little bit more there to get them out, and then that's a little bit of a sharp edge, so I'll just round that corner off, but that gives me the back of the arm. Maybe I'll cut that little sharp corner off too. So same thing back here. I'm just going to cut kind of straight down, and then that gives me a little piece that I can pop out there behind the arm. And I'll reshape the coat around there a little bit. Round that out a little bit. Alright, so now our arms and everything are looking pretty good. I'm going to flatten the front of this out just a little bit. And to kind of finish my shape out, what I want is, I want this coat to look like it's kind of rolling out onto the ground. So it comes in from the sides and up. So I'm going to try to exaggerate that just a little bit by pushing in on my sides especially and bringing it up to the arms, maybe across the front a little bit too. Just above the bottom, pushing my knife in and up, kind of create that little bit of a flare. And I see a little chip there I want to get out. There we go. Oh, that took a little more than I was expecting, which happens sometimes. If you're cutting one way and it breaks, then you should switch and cut the other way. So that kind of broke off there. I lost the top of my pocket there, so I'm going to have to recarve that just a little bit. Now I might lose a little bit of my symmetry, but that's what happens sometimes, and we just adapt and make it work. I'm kind of recutting that corner because my pocket got a little bit destroyed there. Alright, so then the last step for the body here, of course, is the coat. So you can see I have the coat kind of coming down the middle, and then a little triangle cut out of the bottom here for the opening. So we're going to go basically in the middle right below the nose, come down, and then I'm going to curve out towards the bottom like this. I'm going to draw in a little symmetric kind of curve out here. And that'll give me the shape of my coat. Pretty easy. I will do my stop cut straight in there and curved out. Try not to cut into my hand there. And then I will just do my tip of the knife under there and pop that out. Carve up a line. And if you get that right, you can almost just do that. But I will usually come in and flatten and smooth it out from this side too. So we'll do that real quick here. Okay. And I'm going to cut in the little other triangle side down there. And what I'll do here is I'll treat this like a little triangle. I'll recut that, and then I can just cut over there like that. And I can do the same thing back towards the first side of my coat like that. And it'll leave me a little recessed spot for the bottom of the coat. You can see how that sticks out better on this one, where the bottom I paint it the same color as I paint the hat. Okay. So that's pretty good. What we have left is the mustache and beard texture, and then carving the hat. So those will be our last 2 videos. Thanks.